Hello class, so today we're getting started on the screencast to walk you through D2L and some basic navigation points for the course. So this is for the Philosophy of Death and Dying Fall 2020 semester. Thing to know right off the top is that this little box right here is where you could find your email, or otherwise known as instant messages or instant messaging. Okay, and let's see. So if you click over here, that's our class list, and that takes you to where you could find everyone in the class, including me. And so when you click on me, you will find that you could send an email to me and take it from there. So that's just like basically how to get an email to me if you have any questions, anything like that. I have to remember to change this to student view so that we're looking at it like you guys look at it. So let me do that too. So then you just noticed where you could find the class list. Right here, this is where you could find our quizzes. So here you will find our midterm and our final exam under the quizzes tab. The discussions, we have a discussion going right off the top here, and I'll show you all the details there. And then we also have Dropbox. This is basically where you will be dropping off, submitting assignments. This is where you can find your attendance. This is where you can find your grades. I'm going to be uploading those as the days continue here. So I don't have anything to show you there, but that's where you can find it. And then you have content. Okay, so know that this is the home page right here. And as you notice, there is an announcement here that is welcoming you to the class. So what I want to show you first, though, before we launch into that, is this tab right here, which is the content tab. So this is what we could think of as the hub of the class. So let's go ahead and click on that. Click on content. And this is where you're going to find out what you're going to be doing throughout the weeks, okay? And so right here, you could see that I already have week 1, August 24th through 28th, already kind of worked out what we'll be doing. But as we continue, I'm going to be populating this side right here, this left side, that will have our schedule, okay? So also know too that down here is where you'll find the syllabus right here. And so I have some questions on our first discussion assignment about the syllabus. So this is where you'll find the syllabus and where you can read all the specific details that I touch on in the video. Okay, so let's go back here to table of contents. Okay, and also I have this schedule here. So this is not included on the syllabus, but this is going to help us and me keep organized through the semester. So this is just basic sense of how it is that we're turning in assignments, discussions and objectives, etc., and how that corresponds to the schedule. So this is something that you normally see on syllabi, but I kind of have it a little bit separate here, but this is where you could find it, okay? And I think that that's really helpful. It also has some important dates. The syllabus also has those dates too, but it doesn't have the schedule as I have it laid out there. Then also on here, you can click on the Welcome to the First Day of Philosophy of Death and Dying. Welcome to the first day of the Philosophy of Death and Dying. And this is where you'll find the first announcement, okay? And so the first announcement is basically where you will be working with and reading the syllabus, looking at the syllabus, and also determining whether or not you want to meet at a certain day. So also know that this first week we're not going to have a synchronous meeting. So that's going to be a question in the discussion, and I'm going to show you that. Then here's a description of the philosophy of death and dying. You could read through that. Then you have a video that I produced that is on the syllabus, so some basic details on the syllabus. And then following that, I'm going to have a screencast. But I'm making that screencast right now, so it'll be down here below this, and you'll want to watch that as well, obviously. Okay? And then so let's go back to this again. And you notice here that I have post a discussion thread, so let's go to see guidelines for first discussion. I link you there. So when you link to that, it takes you here for some reason. I'm not quite sure. I wish it would take you to the discussion list. But all you'd have to do is click on there, get on discussion, and here it has a way that you could interact with the discussion. So I have several questions here. So welcome to our first class discussion. Start a thread and answer these questions. Offer all answers in complete sentences and not bullet point phrases. So A, introduce yourself to the class and what brings you to this class specifically. B, how do you understand the confluence of death and philosophy? C, although I do not mention it in the video, what is the policy on computer tech problems as noted in the syllabus? D, what is our late work policy? E, what is plagiarism? F, while participating in a synchronous class meeting once a week on Tuesdays 8 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. work for you, or would Thursday at that same time work for you better? So the day that will be set will be determined by the majority of votes for a particular date, okay? And we should know that right away. And then G, what questions, feedback, comments do you have on the class policies, grading, assignments, etc. as we are getting going? And this is going to be due the 31st of August at 11:30 p.m. You will start a thread for that. So I believe, let's see, you can start a thread by clicking on that. So let's do that. And there we go. Start a new thread. And so you'd start a new thread and answer those questions. I could have had that as a quiz, but I wanted it to be interactive so you could see your fellow students introducing themselves and such. You could read their introductions, so on and so forth. And basically know that with this content tab, I'm going to be populating the schedule here as we continue. And then likewise, I'm getting grades going. So we're just getting all the details ironed out here in our first week. But I'm giving you kind of a soft start here so that we do not feel under too much pressure. And we want to kind of take the class in small steps to begin with, and we'll take it from there. All right, class, so be sure to do your first discussion, write your first discussion. Oh yeah, and I was going to point that out, that you can also access the discussions up here as I just did, okay? And that shows you this week's discussion and answering it thereof, okay? All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.